first part of Luke 24 is obviously the resurrection scene, the early on Sunday morning moment where, I suppose in a technical sense what's happening is the women are coming with spices, it tells you, and they're coming to put these spices literally on the body of Jesus, which is something you would normally do the day that the person dies. And not to get into too much detail, but they couldn't do that. The reason they have to come back on Sunday morning is because there was no time to do that on Friday. They were in such a rush to get Jesus into the tomb before sundown, which was, again, without going into too much detail, just part culturally a thing for the Jewish people. That was what you needed to do. So it's a big rush. So then you can't come on the Sabbath. You can't come on Saturday. So that's why, just if you want to understand kind of the technical reasons, that's why nobody shows up until Sunday morning. And the women show up with the spices. They discover, obviously, the stone is rolled away. Jesus is not there. And then the angels appear to them and announce for the first time, obviously this is the moment in Luke's gospel. This is the announcement. Why are you looking for the living among the dead? Why would you be here looking for Jesus? You're in completely the wrong place because Jesus is alive. And one more, what I think is kind of an interesting note, is that in this world, the ancient world, the fact that the first witnesses to this moment, to the greatest event, not just in Jewish history, but in world history, the great event is two women. And in their day, in their culture, their society, women were not credible witnesses. Like, if you're trying to prove your case and make your case, again, I'm not saying it's a good thing, it's just the way that it was. They were not credible witnesses. And it actually, this story bears witness to that fact, because the women go back to the disciples and tell them, and what happens? Nobody believes them. I mean, it's unbelievable in a sense from the start, but nobody believes what they have to say. And sometimes, the gospel writers get accused, well, they just made all of this up and blah, 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 blah. Well, all I have to say is this. This would have been a terrible way to make up this story and to put the great event, the great moment in the mouths of witnesses that nobody in that world would have even thought were credible. And much less that Jesus' closest followers didn't even believe. You've got a double problem if you're making up this story. You just made the witnesses, they aren't credible, and you just made the disciples, his closest followers, kind of stupid and blind to what was going on, which would have, again, been a terrible way to make this up.